the Altra Torin 2.5. So I'm about 100 miles into these Altra Torin 2.5s, and so far I really like them. There's one big catch, but I'll get to that in a little bit. First of all, I'll talk about the things I like about the shoe. First and foremost, the wide toe box, the foot shape that Altra is known for. Truly a breath of fresh air. I've been running in the Hoka Bondi 4, and the first time I put these on for my training run, it was just, they felt so roomy and nice and comfy in the toe box. I don't have particularly wide feet, at least I've never been told I have wide feet, but I could really tell the difference. It's really kind of a mystery how Altra does a good job with the toe box being a realistic foot shape compared to everybody else. I'm not sure why the rest of the industry hasn't gone to this yet, but that's one thing first and foremost that I really liked. They also have a nice amount of cushion to them. They're not super duper cush, but they feel really comfortable. I've worn these up to 22 and a half miles. I got an 18 miler in them just yesterday as well, and they hold up pretty well. For me, I'm a little bit heavier guy. I'm like 6'6", and I weigh about 180-ish. And when I get up into those high teens, I start to feel maybe a little bit of pain up in my metatarsals in these. So maybe shoot for like the longer runs in the high teens with these, and maybe go with something a little more cushioning if you're going to go for those really long runs, 24 milers or something like that. But again, if you're lighter on your feet than me, your results may vary. As far as the cushioning around the ankle is actually pretty thick cushioning in there, quite a bit of support. The heel counter is pretty firm too, hopefully you can see that. And they're not super duper breathable, but I haven't really felt like they're suffocating my feet or anything like that. So overall, I like the upper. The shoelaces, I tend to double knot them. They're so-so. They tend to stay tied, but I've had them come loose too, so I usually just double knot them to play on the safe side. The tongue is pretty well cushioned, so it's nice and soft on the top of your foot. The outsole starts to be where I have a little bit of a problem. It's mostly covered by rubber with the small toe area, exposed foam in through here. And I noticed right on the very first run, I ran like a 6-miler right out of the box, and I already had like major like scuffing up here in the toes where the exposed foam is. And as you can probably see, it's not so bad on this one. On my left foot, I'm a little bit more of a heel striker, and I've actually worn away the rubber on the heel already at only 100 miles. So I'm a little worried about the durability of the outsole. Like I said, I only got about 100 miles on these, and they're pretty well worn already. So I'm not expecting to get a super high mileage out of these, which is unfortunate. But I did get these on sale on Running Warehouse. They're marked down to like 75 bucks or something like that right now, because the Torin 3.0 is coming out in May, I think. So very shortly. So they've marked these down, and for that price, I would say it's a pretty good buy. Again, they feel super duper comfy. Another thing while I'm talking about the sole is they're actually relatively stiff. Like compared to the Altra the 1 that I've raced in, they're pretty solid. They have a little bit more give this way than laterally side to side, but they are pretty firm. I haven't really had an issue with that per se, but that's just one thing I guess to take into account depending on if you like something that's a little more flexible. These are not a very flexible shoe, and this even has pretty big sizable grooves in here to make it as flexible as it is. Otherwise it would probably be even less flexible. Another thing with the sole is as you can probably tell, there aren't lugs, very much traction you're going to get out of the bottom of these. So these I would say are strictly a road running shoe, and probably nice weather conditions. I'm not sure I'd want to use these in winter in slush and snow and ice, because I'm not sure you'd get much grip out of them. having said that, I haven't really had any slipping issues or anything like that, but I've been running in, very nice conditions here in spring for the most part. So that's one thing to take into account. But as much as I'm kind of picking on the durability factor, I really do love these shoes. I would have to say they are maybe my favorite daily trainers. I'd have to think about all the shoes I've ever worn, but I mean, they really feel comfortable, and it's like when your feet are comfortable on a run, it makes a big difference. Obviously, if your feet are just aching and sore and tired, that detracts from your run. So I really do like these. I would probably consider getting another pair. I might try out the threes when they come out just to see how they stack up compared to these. I'm kind of curious to see how they come out. I haven't run the previous edition, so I can't really do any comparison there. But I am curious about the threes. I did notice the threes still have this exposed foam up at the toe, and it's like, I understand you're trying to cut weight, but for like a daily trainer, I mean, how much weight is that really going to add just to put rubber over this tiny little part? But yeah, that's one thing. If I was going to ask them to improve on something, look at the durability a little bit. These got 100 miles. And the rubber is basically worn off in some places on my left foot. So that's a bit of a downer, but overall I really like the shoe. I would recommend it if you're like zero drop shoes. It's fairly lightweight, very comfortable. So give it a shot if you're looking for something like that. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. I got a couple races coming up. I'm going to do a marathon in less than 5 weeks now, and then I'm going to do the Mont Blanc, cross to Mont Blanc. And so a lot of new videos coming up, and thanks for watching. Subscribe if you like the content, and I'll be back soon.